Welcome to another RSR. Today I'm reviewing Morocco 3, Tanzania 0, and AFCON 2024 group stage play. Morocco starts their group stage with a 3-0 win. Was it the best? No. Was it good enough? Yes. Did they do enough offensively? Yes. Do I have thoughts? I certainly do. Let's talk about this game. Goals were scored as follows. In the 30th minute, free kick played. Keeper makes a save, but rebound falls to Romain Sace, the captain. He pops it in to make it 1-0. And that's the way we go into halftime. 1-0 for Morocco. Tanzania defensively played very well. They did hold some possession early in the first half and the second half as well. Tanzania definitely impressed me. I expected a lot worse from them, and they definitely overshot my expectations. So I'll touch on that. Don't worry. Azzedine Ona in the 77th minute takes the shot, finds an opening above the penalty spot, takes a shot. Keeper can't get there. 2-0. Then in the 82nd minute, ball crossed in. Youssef En-Nesyri taps it in. After a little bit of a run, taps it in, beats the keeper, finally gets his goal, 3-0. They check it on VAR, make sure he's onside. He is. 82nd minute, the goal is finally truly given. 3-0 Morocco, and that's the way it would end. 3-0. Both those goals came when they were up a man, of course. Second yellow on Tanzania. Got a man sent off. 3-0. Full-time stats are as follows. 14 shots to 2, 7 shots on goal to 0, 52% possession to 48% possession, 465 passes to 449, 87% pass accuracy to 83, 12 fouls, 13, 0 offside to 0, 2 yellow cards, 3, 0 red cards to 1, 5 corners to 2. Morocco, to me, definitely didn't like playing on the front foot. That is one thing they didn't like. To me, I think Morocco's a team who wants to be the underdogs. And they like playing, not on the back foot, but they like playing where they can break out, play some swashbuckling football, play some tough defense, and then break out. If they hold the ball at times, that's fine, but they don't like being the favorite. I could tell during this game they don't like being the favorite. They don't like being the team that has to force the issue. And yes, Tanzania played some really good defense. They really did. They played some good defense. The keeper made some really good saves. I thought they were a very tough team. There's a reason they lost 2-0, then lost 3-0 here to Morocco. The best team in Africa, arguably. One of the top 3-4 best teams in Africa, and definitely did the best at the World Cup. But they're in that top class with Senegal, Ghana, and of course, Nigeria. They're in that top class. And you could say, I think Morocco is the best. In my opinion. But they want to be at least equal, if not the underdogs. They do not want to be the big favorites. You could just tell the way they played. And yes, Tanzania, with the possession they got, with the possession they kept, with the defense they played, you could say, yeah, Tanzania definitely made it hard for Morocco. And I think Morocco also, even with their best 11, tried to hold back a bit for their bigger matches, for deeper in the tournament. They didn't want to blow it all in one game. And that's fine. They didn't want to spend it all in one game. That's fine. I understand that. But I definitely think that in the end, Morocco are a team who they're not equipped to be front runners, which is a good thing because when they play in the World Cup, in most cases, they're either equal or the running up team. The running up, back up, behind, underdog. There we go. The underdog team. That's what they are. They're either right up next to that team or they're the underdog. And there are some games where they will be looked at as the favorite now, depending on what draw they get when they get to the World Cup. If they still got to qualify, but I'm sure they will. Come on, they will. But then again, Nigeria didn't qualify, and they are in that top class. So again, Egypt didn't either. They're in that top class. So they did play a top class team, though. So difference there. But with that being said, for the last World Cup, of course, 2022. So it can happen. It can happen. But the thing is here with Morocco, to me, they don't like being the favorite because it's just not what they're used to. And maybe This sounds like a AFCON thing for them. They don't play well at AFCONs. Because maybe they've always been like this. Even in the good days, they've always been like this. They don't like being the front runners. This sounds like a AFCON thing for them. And it looks like another AFCON of they don't like being the front runners. They don't play well as front runners. If that's the situation, here we are again. And we'll find a way to see them lose. We'll find out. But again, Morocco, I thought they played very well. I thought Morocco played very well in the thought of that they did get 3 goals. A 3-goal win is a dominant win, no matter how you slice it. But in the end, it's also, well, Tanzania played some really good defense. They were tough. They were not as bad as I thought they would be. I said 4-1. I said 4-1 Morocco. I gave Tanzania the benefit of the doubt. I said 4-1. Not far off, but not a great prediction. If you look back at my prediction a couple of days ago on one of my past videos, I didn't make it in a video. I made it in the comments when somebody asked me. But 4-1 was a bit harsh. I was being nice. I could have said 4-0, which I guess 3-0 isn't far off. But Tanzania is a lot better of a team than I thought. They're a tough team. They're a good defensive team. They could hold possession. They didn't look too much out of depth. Yeah, they didn't get any shots on goal. They got only 2 shots. But defensively, they're a tough team. They got a good midfield. They got a good defense. They got a good keeper. They just need forwards. But they didn't look like they were out of their depth. They didn't look like they were struggling to keep up. You know, there's a difference. There's a difference. When you're a team who's a big favorite, look at Canada versus those teams in the 2021 portion of the World Cup qualifiers in the group stage and that the group stage for sure. Or those were games where it was damn, man, they're just the better team. Bermuda, Aruba, they looked like they were out of their depth. You know, they were never getting a lick, right? Tanzania looked like they could get a lick. You know, they looked like they could find their way to the blind squirrel gets to the nut. You know, that's what they looked like. They could get to the nut as that blind squirrel. That's my point, is they were the blind squirrel. They were the underdogs in this situation, but they looked like they could get to that nut, whether it was lucky or not. You know, my point being that they didn't look hopeless. That's my point. They did not look hopeless. And that's exactly what I thought they would be, was hopeless against Morocco. They were not. And you could say, but they only lost 2-0 in the World Cup qualifiers in November. They were never going to be hopeless. That I did not know about. I will cop to the fact I did not know about that result until last night when I was making the stream, because I was checking FotMob to do some research. I did not know about that result. So I'll cop to that. But it all makes sense. As I was watching the game, it made sense that they only lost 2-0 and they lost 3-0 here, down a man for about 15 minutes. It makes sense because this is how they play, they don't look out of sync. They don't look like they're going to get their butts whipped by a big team. You know, they can be defensively good. They probably will break. The dam will break, but they can defensively. If they got a draw, I wouldn't have been shocked with the way they played. That's what I'm trying to say here. Against a big team. If they got a draw against a big team, I wouldn't be shocked. Because they could do that. The way they play, they could do that. And that's my big takeaway here. Is Tanzania, don't sleep on them. I'm not saying they'll get through the group stage, but they are a tough team. They know how to play defensively. They don't know how to play good offensively. I mean, you know, they need forwards, but maybe against the run of play, you know, they could score against the run of play. They could find a nut once in a while. And midfield's pretty good. Goalkeeper's good. They just need attackers. But if they had attackers, they would be dangerous. They really would be dangerous. And that's the thing that I get from this. And Morocco, that's also what I get, is Morocco don't like being the favorites. That's the big things I get from this match. They won, deservedly so, yes. Should they add more possession? Yeah. Did they force the issue? Yes. In the fact of that they had to force the issue because they were the favorites? Yes. Did they like forcing the issue? You could tell they didn't. They'd rather be the runners-up. They'd rather be the underdogs. And if they just play like that, that would be kind of scary for... I think Morocco know that if they play like the underdogs, that makes this look scary. They kind of want to show that they are the most dominant in Africa in the AFCON because they should be. So a win's a win, but if you win looking weak, it doesn't look good when you should be the favorites. So I get they kind of have to force the issue here as well, at least until they get to teams like Nigeria and Senegal, and they could sort of be like, hey, you know, it's 50-50. We can kind of play in our own way because at least it's 50-50. We're not the underdogs, but we kind of are. At least it's 50-50. But here they had to force the issue, and I don't think they liked it. And they have to force the issue until about the quarterfinals. They don't like that. Like the knockout stage, they could be like, hey, it's 50-50 in most cases, maybe the semifinals. But there you go. I don't think they like forcing the issue. Man of the match for me, I'm going to go... I think Hakimi played well. I'm going to go with Hakimi. I think he played well. I'll go with Hakimi because Nesri should have scored 2 or 3, to be completely honest. I'm going to go Hakimi for man of the match. There you go. So if you like this video, like it, share, subscribe. You know what it is. Tell your friends. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that bell notification once subscribed. Send super chats on the live streams. Comment on this video. Put us in place. Share with friends and family. All that great stuff. I'll see you tomorrow for my NFL divisional round predictions because we're still doing that. Don't worry. And because we have Miami and Japan on Friday, I have no time to put that out on Friday, so you get my division predictions a day early. Normally it's the Friday before the round starts, but hey, a day early because you got Miami at night, Miami, El Salvador at night, Japan, Iraq in the morning, and you got a review for both. So see you tomorrow for my NFL divisional predictions. Then, of course, we'll be live for both Iraq, Japan in the morning on Friday. We'll review it, and then I'll sleep. I'll be up for the Miami El Salvador game in the afternoon, evening, and then we'll go live for that and review that. So there you go. With that being said, I'm Ryan and I'm out. Peace. See you later.